Forget gutters, downspouts, and $8,000 rainwater tanks. This Roman courtyard collects 60,000 gallons yearly without a single pipe. No pump, no filter, no electricity. And it's been running non-stop without maintenance for over 2,000 years. Look at that shot again. Rain pouring straight through a hole in the roof, filling an ancient marble basin. The water disappears into a cistern the size of a small swimming pool. No plastic, no electricity, no crew. Just stone, gravity, and geometry. 60,000 gallons of free water every single year, forever, at zero cost. Here's the part that should make you angry. These blueprints have been sitting in plain sight for 2 millennia. We just stopped building them. Why did we abandon a system that never fails, never clogs, never breaks? Stay with me. By the video's end, you'll know exactly how to build one for about $1,400. Let's talk about the problem first, because most people don't even realize how badly they're getting robbed every month. The average American water bill has climbed 43% since 2015. 43%. In some cities, it doubled. And what are you paying for? Rain. Rain that falls freely on your roof and runs into your gutters. It sluices down your driveway and vanishes into a storm drain, gone forever, never to serve you again. You literally pay the city to haul away water they will then sell right back to you next month. Now think about your gutters. Those aluminum troughs bolted to your fascia, clogging with leaves every single autumn. They sag under snow, they leak at the seams, they rust. They rot the wood behind them, silently. Homeowners spend $300 to $600 yearly just keeping gutters functional, before a single drop even gets used. It all runs off. It's wasted. It's gone. Money down the drain, literally, every single time it rains.
Meanwhile, 40 US states are now under some form of drought restriction. Arizona is rationing, California is fining. Texas drills deeper wells every year because the aquifer keeps dropping. And the industry solution? A plastic rain barrel, 55 gallons. It fills up in one storm, then overflows for the rest of the year. That's the answer. Or spend $8,000 on a buried polyethylene tank with a pump, filter, controller, and service contract. That's the modern answer. That's what they sell you. The average homeowner pays $800 a year. That's water that fell on their own roof. Sky water. Free water. Water they already own by law of physics. And they pay for it. Every month. Forever. The Romans paid nothing. And their ancient tanks still work today. Walk into a house in Pompeii right now, and if it rains, the basin fills. Nothing has been repaired, nothing replaced, nothing powered. Let that sink in.
So, what did the Romans know that we somehow completely forgot? The answer is a system called the impluvium. Once you understand it, you'll never look at roofs the same. Here's how it works. A Roman villa was built around a central open-air courtyard called the atrium. The roof around that courtyard didn't slope outward like modern roofs do. It sloped inward toward the center. Every tile, every beam angled down toward the middle. In the ceiling, they left a rectangular opening, the compluvium. Directly below that opening, set into the polished marble floor, sat a shallow basin they called the impluvium. Rain ran down the inward-facing tiles, gathered at the compluvium, and poured straight into the basin. No gutters needed, no downspouts, no pumps, no plastic. Just the roof itself acting as a giant funnel feeding water below. From the basin, a single stone channel carried water down into a sealed cistern dug beneath the floor.
Lime-plastered, gravity-fed, storing tens of thousands of gallons at cool underground temperatures year-round. No moving parts to break. That's the entire system. A sloped roof, a hole, a basin, a tank. Nothing that needs power. The water industry has spent the last 100 years quietly burying this ancient idea. Why aren't we using it? Because you can't sell a monthly bill for something a homeowner catches for free from the sky. You can't meter rainwater falling into a private stone tank. So they replaced everything with disposable plastic. Plastic gutters, plastic barrels, plastic tanks, plastic pumps, plastic filters. Every single part fails and needs replacing. Every replacement is a line item on somebody's invoice. The Roman system has none of those parts, and the physics behind it is almost embarrassingly simple. Let me show you numbers that get truly ridiculous. 1 inch of rain on 1,000 square feet of roof produces roughly 620 gallons.
620 gallons from one single storm, from 1 inch of rain on a modest roof. Now take the average American house, 2,000 square feet of roof, soaking up every falling drop. Average annual rainfall across the continental United States runs about 35 inches per year. Multiply that out. You get roughly 43,000 gallons of free water falling on your own roof every single year. Water you already own. Water you're currently paying the city to take away and then sell right back. Here's what the Romans understood. If you pitch the roof inward instead of outward, you eliminate the gutter entirely. Nothing to clog because there's no horizontal trough. Nothing to sag because water travels a short distance on the roof. Water drops straight down through the impluvium. Debris, leaves, twigs, dust, falls into a settling chamber above the cistern. Heavy particles sink. Clean water flows over a small lip into the main tank. Passive filtration. No screens, no cartridges. Then there's the lining. Romans used a lime plaster called opus sininum, crushed pottery mixed with lime and volcanic ash. When it sets, it becomes waterproof, self-healing, and mildly alkaline. That alkalinity kills algae, it kills bacteria, it keeps the water sweet. And because the cistern sits underground, the water stays at 55 degrees year-round. Cool, fresh. Modern engineers look at this and get uncomfortable, because there's nothing to sell. No pump, no UV sterilizer, no membrane, just stone and lime and gravity. But here's the part they refuse to admit. It works better than modern systems. Let me prove that with a direct comparison. Take your standard modern rain barrel. 55 gallons, sits under a downspout. First good rain of the season, it fills in about 8 minutes. Then what happens? It overflows completely. For the next 4 hours of that storm, 100% of the water is lost straight to the drain. Studies show residential rain barrel systems capture less than 30% of the annual rainfall hitting the roof. 70% is wasted. 70% runs off into the storm drain, hitting the pavement and disappearing forever. Now the impluvium. Buried size to the roof, the Roman system captures 94% of every storm. 94%. That's not a small improvement. That's more than triple what a rain barrel does. And no pump, no filter, not a single kilowatt. And here's the part that should really make you stop and think. The water utility can meter your consumption. They can meter your wastewater. They can meter your sewer connection. But they cannot meter what falls out of the sky into a private stone tank on your property. They have no way to charge you. That is the one loophole in the entire municipal water system.
It has existed since Rome, and they have spent a century convincing you that it's obsolete. But wait until you see annual numbers, because this is where the argument stops being philosophical and starts being mathematical. 2,000 square feet of roof, 35 inches of rain per year, a modest suburban house in normal climate. Run the math. You get about 43,000 gallons captured. In a wetter region, 50 inches of rain. That number climbs to 60,000, sometimes 70,000 gallons a year. On a Roman-scale compound with courtyards, you routinely see cisterns holding 100,000 gallons. Even the modest single-family version, 60,000 gallons yearly. Now let's price that water. Municipal water in American cities runs about 1.5 cents per gallon. That's all in, supply, treatment, delivery, sewer and stormwater fees baked into every single drop you flush. The Roman system, amortized across its lifespan, delivers water at roughly 0.4 of a cent per gallon. That's almost 4 times cheaper than city water. And remember, this is water you already legally owned outright. Multiply 60,000 gallons by 1.5 cents. That's $900 a year in avoided bills. Every year, forever. For a system requiring no service, no replacement parts, no electricity, no monthly fee. Payback on a properly built impluvium cistern in a normal rainfall region comes in under 4 years flat. In a drought state like Arizona, every gallon of municipal water is priced at true emergency rates. There, the payback period drops to about 18 months. Then 4 decades of free water on the other side. Now let me show you how to actually build one, because it's simpler than you probably think. Start with the tank. You dig a cylindrical pit roughly 8 feet deep and 8 feet across.
That gives you volume to store around 6,000 gallons, enough buffer to bridge a dry summer. Line the walls with lime plaster over a rough stone or brick shell, sealing every interior surface. Modern equivalent, hydraulic lime mortar over concrete block or fiber-reinforced ferro cement coated in food-safe waterproofing. Either outlasts you. The Romans domed the top of the cistern, leaving a small central inspection hole for maintenance access below. You can copy them or pour a flat reinforced concrete lid with a hinged access hatch on top. Above that lid sits your settling chamber, a shallow open basin 3 feet square with a raised lip. Roof water enters this basin, heavy debris sinks to the bottom, and clean water spills over the lip below. Now the roof itself. This is where modern retrofits get creative because you needn't demolish your existing house. On new construction, the entire roof plane slopes inward about 4 degrees toward the central opening called the impluvium. That opening is roughly 3 feet square, framed in metal or stone, capped with a coarse grate against leaves. Retrofitting an existing house? Build a smaller impluvium as an addition, a pergola, a pavilion, an inward pitch garage. Anything with a roof surface that funnels rain toward one single point works. Inward slope, central opening, done. You need one more piece, an overflow, because every cistern needs somewhere for excess water when the tank fills. The Romans ran a stone channel out to a garden or fountain, and you do exactly the same thing. Run a simple gravity overflow pipe from the cistern top out to a swale, rain garden, or fruit orchard. Anywhere the water soaks in and feeds plants. Nothing is wasted. Every drop hits either tank or landscape. Total materials cost for a working residential impluvium cistern doing labor yourself around $1,400 total. Concrete block, hydraulic lime, waterproof coating, rebar, metal grate, inspection hatches, and overflow pipe. That's the whole list. $1,400. Less than one modern rain tank installation. Less than 2 years of your current water bill. It lasts, based on Roman precedent, at least 2,000 years. The savings math is where it gets ridiculous. 60,000 gallons captured per year multiplied by 1.5 cents per gallon at municipal rates, that's $900 a year saved on water bills. Add 200 to 300 more from eliminated gutters, no more gutter cleaning, no more gutter repair. Call it $1,100 a year in avoided costs. Now compound that over the system's lifespan. 40 years is conservative for a properly built lime-plastered cistern. 40 years times $1,100 equals $44,000 of avoided expense from a $1,400 build.
That's a return on investment of over 3,000%. Try getting that from any other home improvement. The maintenance schedule? Once every 10 to 15 years, you drain the cistern and inspect the interior plaster. Patch any hairline cracks with fresh lime, refill the basin, and that's it. Finished for another decade. No moving parts to service, no filter cartridges to replace, no pump seals ever needing to be swapped out. No electricity bill either, no service contract. Just stone and lime, quietly working for another 2,000 years. In drought zones, there's a second benefit most people don't calculate: the property value boost at resale. Real estate agents across Arizona and Nevada now specifically list homes with cisterns and gray water systems as premium. In some markets, a functional cistern adds $15,000 to $20,000 straight onto the home appraisal value.
So, your $1,400 build doesn't just save you money on water, it pays back at resale. In Phoenix, where municipal supply faces long-term stress and rates keep climbing, payback drops to just 18 months. After that, every single drop is pure savings for decades, free water flowing directly onto your property. So, why isn't every new house built this way? Why isn't the impluvium standard in Arizona subdivisions? Why is every developer still nailing aluminum gutters to fascia boards in cities literally running out of water? The answer is uncomfortable. It's the same answer as every other low-tech solution that quietly got buried. Plumbing codes across most of the United States were written between 1920 and 1960 last century. They assume municipal supply. They assume a pressurized main into every dwelling. They assume a metered utility connection.
They were written by engineers working for utility companies, adopted by cities whose tax base depended on utilities. There is no line item in the International Plumbing Code for a gravity-fed roof cistern as a primary source. It's not banned outright, it's just not accommodated anywhere in the standard American residential permit system today, which means every impluvium build becomes a special variance, a fight with the inspector, an uphill permit battle. Developers won't touch it because developers make money on the recurring bill, and every new house is a customer for a century. That customer generates connection fees, monthly service charges, sewer fees. A cistern house generates none of that recurring revenue stream. The incentive structure at the municipal level actively punishes the low-tech solution before any homeowner even signs paperwork. Then there's the Homeowner Association.
In 22 US states, HOAs have written covenants that specifically prohibit visible cisterns entirely. Rain barrels over a certain size or any modification to the roof line that would allow an impluvium banned outright. Not because they're dangerous, not because they're ugly, because they look, quote, non-standard against the suburban visual monotony. So the HOA, a non-elected private board, enforces municipal water dependency on every single homeowner in the neighborhood. This is not conspiracy. This is documented. The plumbing code, the developer incentive, the HOA covenant, all aligned. 3 layers of quiet policy, all pointing the same direction, toward the meter and away from the open sky. The beautiful, infuriating thing is that none of it is technical. There is no engineering problem with the Roman system. There is no failure mode we haven't seen. There is no scale limit. The physics have been settled for 2,000 years. The only obstacle is regulatory, financial, and cultural. That's it. Nothing else stands between you and free water. One low-tech trick they hate even more is coming next. I'm going to break down the Persian Kanat tunnel system, an underground network that cools houses to 65 degrees in 110-degree desert heat, using zero electricity. No compressor. Same principle, same age, same suppression. If the impluvium made you rethink your water bill, brace yourself. Before you close this video, think about the roof over your head and the last big storm you weathered. Think about the sound of that rain hammering down onto your shingles and running away into a drain. That was money. Months of water bills flowing down your driveway, into a gutter, into a pipe, gone. It happens next week. Every week you own that house. Unless you build the system that catches it. The Romans caught it. For 2,000 years they caught it. And their cisterns are still there today. Still holding water. Still working perfectly. No pumps, no filters, no electricity. No monthly bill. Not ever. If you're building a house, build the impluvium into the plans. Design the roof to pitch inward. If you're renovating, add a courtyard pavilion with an inward pitch roof placed directly over a buried stone cistern. Stuck in a subdivision with an HOA? Start small. A pergola over a stone tank for irrigation. Even a modest build offsets thousands of gallons of municipal water each year you own the house. Every single drop you catch is one more drop the water company can never sell back to you. This is exactly what a real low-tech solution looks like. Simple, powerful, completely passive, and entirely free. It never needs software updates. It never needs a subscription. It never asks anything of you, ever. No lithium battery, no smart hub, no Wi-Fi. Just a hole in a roof and a buried tank. The industry doesn't want you to know how well it works, because half their monthly revenue evaporates. Forget about gutters. Forget about downspouts. Forget the plastic rain barrel your hardware store keeps pushing on you. A better system exists. It has worked for 2,000 years. It costs less than a single mortgage payment. Found this useful? Want more buried low-tech solutions the industry stopped teaching because they can't be metered? Subscribe. Next video we are taking apart the Persian Kanat, the underground cooling tunnel that chills desert houses without electricity. Share this with anyone building a house, renovating a property, or complaining about their monthly water bill right now. They need to see this before they sign the next contract or pour a single yard of new concrete. Want the upgraded version, a hybrid Roman modern built with drinkable filtration and pressurized delivery? Stick around, it's coming. That video drops soon. Subscribe.